What is the difference between semi-permanent and permanent makeup?
There really isn't very much difference at all between the two. We used to refer to it as semi-permanent makeup, but because it remains in the skin for an indefinite period of time, it was deemed more correct to start referring to it as permanent makeup, which is now more commonly referred to.
What is permanent makeup?
A natural cosmetic enhancement is placed in the skin to either conceal flaws or to enhance the natural beauty dimension of a woman, or in some cases men. We can use it for a variety of reasons: for augmenting the brows, filling in sparse brows, lifting brows, particularly in the older clientele. It's used for eyelining, for eye definition, and it's used for making the lips more symmetrical and giving more colour and perhaps a smile to the older ladies' lips as well.
Where do men usually have permanent makeup?
The most usual area that I'm requested when men come into my clinic is actually to put hairs back into the eyebrows where they have eyebrow scars. Sometimes patches in whiskers where they have bald patches and they want their stubble replaced, which is very easily achieved with permanent makeup. And quite often we have a very large market of men who have endured hair transplant treatments which have not been entirely successful. So it's a very effective way of disguising the scarred areas on the scalp for men that have undergone those type of treatments.
Who are the best candidates for permanent makeup?
Best candidates are the people that have really researched and really thought about what they want to achieve. People that want to look the best they can, as naturally as they can. The permanent makeup the type of permanent makeup that I do daily in my clinic is not statement makeup. It's not makeup to make you look good in nightclubs. It's makeup that you wake up in, looks natural and makes you look better and feel younger.
Who should avoid permanent makeup?
Obviously, if you go to a reputable permanent makeup practitioner, there should be a screening process in place. And part of that screening process would be a medical questionnaire, and we would need to go through your medical history just to make sure that there are no contraindications to treatments. Most of the contraindications to treatments would be, in actual fact, pregnancy and breastfeeding, because permanent makeup is so non-toxic and so safe that we regularly use it to treat people that are undergoing chemotherapy and people that have very low blood count and resistance, and it is very, very beneficial for those people.
What are the benefits of permanent makeup over non-permanent makeup?
There's a great benefit to having permanent makeup over buying over-the-counter products, in that you are going to wake up with professionally applied makeup that is extremely natural. You're not going to have mascara halfway down your face the next morning. You can get up and go. You can swim, you can go hiking, you can go sunbathing. Not that we recommend that too much these days, but you're going to look your best all the time and naturally, and that's what the beauty of permanent makeup is.
Can permanent makeup be applied anywhere?
Permanent makeup can be applied anywhere on the body, but in small areas. It wouldn't be suitable for applying a foundation type effect to the face. That's just not possible with permanent makeup. It tends to be with smaller areas.
Which physical areas can permanent makeup address?
Which physical areas can it address? Well, obviously the face, and I would say that probably about 70% of the work that comes into my clinic is for eyebrows. Most people aren't happy with their eyebrows. They want them lifted, lengthened, darkened, shaped. Obviously the eyes as well. We can make a dramatic difference to the way the eyes look. They look less bare as a client becomes older. They look less invisible, because I think that's one of the comments that most of the clients bring with me to their clinic. They don't want to feel invisible, especially once they come to 40 years of age. We can use it for building the lips up where they start to shrink with age. So we can actually reverse the signs of ageing with very carefully applied permanent makeup.
Can permanent makeup help with reconstruction?
I have many referrals from surgeons with patients with autoimmune disorders, which may be vitiligo, which is loss of colour and pigment in the skin. This can be very, very successfully addressed with permanent makeup, providing the vitiligo is actually in remission. Vitiligo can be coloured in with a disbursement of colour through the skin, and it gives a very, very satisfactory solution to those sufferers. Additionally, lots of people with alopecia and for these ladies going through alopecia, it's obviously a very traumatic psychological shift to have to accept that suddenly they have no hair. So to be able to come in and have eyelashes or an eyelash simulation technique put across their eyes to stop the eyes from looking so bare, having eyebrows put in individual hair strokes which look completely dimensional with the addition of a wig is a complete solution for those ladies. Going further down the line, we can disguise scars. I often disguise facelift scars, and quite often I'm involved in breast reconstruction after breast cancer for breast cancer survivors, and that will be with or without the nipple complex still in place.
What colours are available?
Colours are available. We can basically construct most colours to go into most skins. The essence, and I think the skill of permanent makeup, and certainly in my experience is still a learning curve to even seasoned practitioners, is actually stabilising tertiary colours in the skin. And what I mean by tertiary colours are typically brow colours, which are generally brown or ash blonde or black. They have to be stabilised so the colour remains true. For that reason, I will discuss the colour with the client, but the colour outside the skin looks entirely different when it's implanted into the skin. So there has to be an element of trust between the client and the practitioner, and you have to take the practitioner's word that that colour will develop to exactly as you want it, to look as natural as possible.
How do tattoos and permanent makeup differ?
We're both a form of tattooing, but that's really where the similarity ends. A high street tattoo will use a machine which is far more aggressive, generally referred to as a coil machine. They will also be using inks, which are implanted very, very deep below the dermal layer of the skin. And generally speaking, the tattoo will remain visible in their skin for the rest of their life. With permanent makeup, we use ground up pigments, generally iron oxide pigments. For a better want of phrase, it's ground up dirt, it's rock dirt, but it's done in pharmaceutical conditions. There's nothing new, nothing toxic, and nothing tricky in anything that we're using. The permanent makeup that we now do in modern day time is really a derivative of what was done by the early Egyptians.
Do I need a consultation before having permanent makeup?
Some of my clients, for geographical reasons, need to fly in to have treatments and fly back out the same day. If a client feels they need to discuss this can be discussed by telephone. I would imagine really the vast majority of my clients tend to come in for a 10 to 15 minute discussion to judge suitability to treatment first of all. But during the actual treatment process, a very, very extensive consultation takes place. And if the client is not deemed suitable, she will be advised at the time of treatment.
What questions should I ask before having permanent makeup?
Basically, you should be asking for a consultation to find out your suitability to treatment, because not everybody is suitable for every area of their face or body. There may be parts of the face that are suitable and parts that aren't. So lots and lots of questions, anything that concerns you really. It would be worth sitting down and writing a few things down before you go and meet your practitioner so that you're fully informed before you make your decision to go ahead and have permanent makeup.
What is the pre-treatment procedure?
The client is obviously booked into clinic and comes into clinic usually for about an hour and a half per procedure, per area of the face or body. A general assessment is taken by myself, and the expectations of the treatment will be discussed fully with the client or the patient to make sure that the expectations can be reached. Once everything has been established, a very specific clinical photographs will be taken of the area, which are entirely confidential and kept on the client's file. The medical history will be taken. Then the treatment will be planned. It will be planned very specifically using various measuring tools. Obviously, my eye as a practitioner, I see these treatments all day, my judgment, but I also listen very much to the wishes and desires of my client. I want them to feel comfortable in the treatment that I'm going to apply for them.
What machines are used?
In the time that I've been involved in permanent makeup, we have shifted from generally using a rotary machine, and now we're using digital machines, which originated really through German engineering. And the beauty of working with these machines and the results that I can deliver to my clients are unrivaled. I can make absolutely ultra fine hair strokes which look entirely believable, completely dimensional. This could never have been achieved before.